Hi, my name is Dorn Hetzel, in case you didn't already know. I'm 47 years old and I've gone back to school and trying to finish my degree. Now, why I didn't finish my degree the first time, that's a little more of a story. So, the early years. I grew up in Florida and I was probably too smart for my own good. I started reading before I was 2. School was fun and easy. I was probably the smartest kid in most of the classes I was in. I didn't ever really have to study. So I didn't. I got A's, so it wasn't a problem. And that worked for a pretty good while, through around 7th grade. Then my mom remarried, moved to Georgia, and schools in Georgia were a little bit behind the schools in Florida. And the stuff I was taking in 8th grade was kind of about what I'd seen in 5th grade in Florida. So I got bored, studied even less if that was possible. And my stepfather wasn't really interested in me doing my homework. He was more interested in the chores around the house getting done, so I didn't do any homework. I got zeros on my homework, got straight 100s on my tests, and muddled through with a C+ average, and just continued to work out all right. And it got to be time for my senior year of high school, and I figured out that I could get out of the house. I could go to tech a year early, join enrollment. Sounded like a great idea. The C+ average wasn't really helping, but I got a 1580 on the SAT, which at the time the max was 1600, so they liked that, and they decided to let me in. So off I went to Georgia Tech in downtown Atlanta at 16. Seemed like a good idea at the time. So where did things go wrong? Well, I love Georgia Tech, so don't get the wrong impression, but at the time there were too many students and too few professors, and the professors were real busy doing research so they could get tenure. And if you went to class or not, or studied or not, passed or not, it was just up to you, and nobody else really worried about it. Now, there may be people who can pass 8 a.m. calculus without studying at Georgia Tech, but even with my 800 SAT math score, I wasn't one of them. So I got some good grades. I had real good grades in my computer classes, and I had lots of independent study and special projects, which basically meant that if you were willing to go be a professor's research slave for a quarter, they'd give you an A. And so with a little help from that, it took me a little over 2 years and failing calculus 7 times before they finally kicked me out. And that was that, 30 years ago. So what about now? Well, I started back to school last fall, and I took 25 hours and I got a 4.0, straight A's. And I did every single homework problem for every single class. So make of the difference what you will.